So I got one of our one dope planners live with us. So this is not rehearsed. Okay, we do have an agenda, but it's not rehearsed or anything. So I have the awesome Elisa. Is it Gilmore?
Gilmore.
Gilmore, on with me, and I'm so excited to have her on here because we're going to talk about looking at, when it comes to planning, the problems that we can solve, right? And then have
Mhm.
a quick little 15-minute conversation. It's like, I remember when I bought my first digital planner, I was like, okay, so now what am I supposed to do with this thing? So I'm going to ask Elisa some questions, and we've already actually had kind of like a pre-session, and some of the things she was like, okay, can I do this, or how do I do this? And so that's why we have Elisa on here. So there are probably questions that you have may have had too. And I know I definitely had those same questions. So let's get started. So let's start with this. Can you share a little bit about your background? What do you typically plan for? Work, business, mix of everything. So how do you
Um,
use your planner?
my life. So I'm a professor, college professor. I am an empty nester, so my kids are out of the house, but I still have lots of things going on. I'm a PhD student, teach full time, have travel. So it's just, I needed something to be able to use my time more efficiently. And I had been doing, pen and paper. I never really used my iPad for much. And when I heard about this, I was like, okay, I'm going to give it a shot. And I have not turned back. It has been, it has really transformed me, my ability to manage my time and to develop rituals that I can use very easily. So,
Here, pull up. See, I love to hear that. Love to hear that. Especially like when you're doing multiple things and you need it, and you even sent me a picture of you by the pool
yes, at the beach.
at the beach.
A year ago, I just got it. I was so excited. I had to set it up. And for January, yes.
That's awesome, awesome.
Mhm.
So before digital planning, so using a digital planner, what was your biggest struggle when it came to productivity or
Um,
staying organized?
so the biggest thing, I would buy this big, thick bound, every year. And I found that I wasn't, when I had multiple weeks of not using it, and then I just felt bad. And then I didn't want to go back to it. And then I'm like, I paid all this money and all these blank pages. And so I think that digital planning allows me for more flexibility. Also, when I write something and I have to change it and then it gets messy. So I just, I mean, that's just, and then I didn't want to use it. And so digital planning allows me to use it, customize it, to my needs and to make changes on the go without feeling like I'm wasting anything. And then I don't have to carry this big old heavy thing in my bag. I just have my iPad. So it's helpful in that way.
That's good. I mean, and one of the things I need to do, because you can sync it to your phone, so it has the capability to sync it to your phone. So if you had to like pick it up really
Yes.
quickly, you just
Hmm.
got to make sure you have whatever PDF writing app you're using. So if you use GoodNotes, you got to have GoodNotes on your phone, and then they
Hmm.
sync it to the cloud. And it's like even if people are Android users, it has to be like and like. So if you have an Android phone, you have to have
Hmm.
an Android tablet. If you have an
Hmm.
iPhone, you just have to have an iOS or an iPad, and it'll sync. So
And I've done that before. I have an iPhone and I have like, oh, I wrote that note in my, and I've had been able to pull it up. So sorry, my husband's putting together something for me in the background.
hey,
So
we're putting the stuff together.
he's putting the stuff together. Yes.
That's tough. See, I told y'all raw and uncut. We just,
Yes.
but this is planning should be really that simple. It shouldn't be anything,
Mhm.
too
Yeah. Hmm.
so
Yeah. And I didn't know if it would work for me. And like, I'm jumping in, for the next year, and I won't turn back. So.
that's what's up. We love to hear that part too.
Mhm.
That actually gets me to my next question. It was, what part of digital planning felt confusing or overwhelming? Because you said I'm jumping in.
Yes. Well,
What
just
is this first?
honestly, the first I had never used like the OneNotes. I'm looking over here my iPad. I never Good Notes. I never use anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it and I'm a technology person, but there is a learning curve and there's a comfort, right? And so I think just you having showing me where all the things go, having it set up, also little things like getting the right tips on my pencil and the little thing you told me about, like to make it more comfortable, things like that. Yeah, so just all the onboarding things, and so there, if without that I would just like probably not try, because it just there's just an inertia, right? But so that was initially like, and if somebody's not a real technology person, then I think that it could be even more of a barrier. But once you get it set up and it's just there and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I tell people the learning curve is like if you've used Windows
mhm.
based your whole life and then you move to a Mac, it's a like 2 week curve. You just got to keep on touching it, and
Mhm.
as long as you just pick it up every day and try to do something, then you start to catch on.
Yeah, and it's a price that's worth it if it's going to make, I feel like that time that you're learning it, the learning curve, I'm saving like so many more hours by having a planning system that works for me. So it's a good trade-off.
Good, good, good. So how do you so what part of the planner, I'm going to open up mine. What
Mhm.
part of the planner do you use, I guess, the most? Or let me get my planner up here.
Um, Let me pull mine up too. So the part I use the most, oh, you have it so pretty. So I'm not a real like like all the pretty things. I don't really have time for that. Like I love it, but I don't really do that. I use the weekly. That is my jam. I
Okay, mine
put
too.
together. I have like when I start. I'm a semester, so when I start my semester, I have my weeks. My weeks are pretty much the same.
Mhm.
So I start out by figuring out where all the time blocks are going to fit in, and you had suggested the 12-week planner book, and so I read that, and I had a thing set up. So I have like an actual week mask that I put on every week, where it has all my time blocks set up for that week. So I copy that. I make that once. I copy it, and that's it. I don't have any cute things for the seasons. I just use that, and so I'll put in my main things I need to accomplish in different areas of my life, like homework, like my actual work, um, uh, my organization. So I do that on the right hand side of my top things. And then I look at that, and then if I'm really doing well, like I'll look at the week, I'll do a day planning, and then I'll take some of those things and I'll write down my notes for the day. If I'm busy and I don't have time to write that, I will still use my week plan, yes, like this, as a guide. And it helps me feel so much more accomplished. If I can just and purposeful. And also I found out like that I was able to do more with less time by planning and by having, execution blocks and
Hmm,
rest blocks, or time where I do something else. Like I go away from it for 20 minutes or whatever, like according to the 12-week plan, where I would say, okay, I have this big task that I have to do. I have to write this paper, right? And I'm just going to spend all day writing paper. Well, if I just said, well, I have 2 hours to go hard on it, I would get way more done, way
hmm,
further
mhm.
along. And I wouldn't feel like this nagging sense of, instead of being in goal oriented, I was, this is how I'm going to spend my time oriented, and then let the chips fall, right?
Right.
And that is huge in terms of like feeling better about myself, not feeling as much anxiety, not feeling like I'm always behind, because I'm like, I put in the time. And you know what? Putting in that small amount of time, but focused, I got things done way faster and
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. So that was the sucker for me.
Yeah, and what Elisa is talking about is time blocking. And so that I'll do the same thing. So this is actually my week. like meetings that don't can't move. Like these
Mm,
things like have to happen. Okay, my Sunday is not really done. But and I've actually
mhm,
updated this one. But once
mm,
you write it all down, and I even have like because I have um 8 reps on Central Time and clients on Central Time, I even did a little thing where I have my Central Time on here so I can convert it visually.
mm, mm,
So once I set it up, all I'm doing is copying this whole thing, and then I'm in GoodNotes, so I would save it, create it as the element,
mhm,
and then just save it under. I think I have it under like widgets or something like that. And
mhm.
that way, when I go to my new week, I just click up that and just paste it right where it needs to go. So I'm
That's exactly what I did.
right. So I'm not duplicating it over and over. In a paper planner, you would
Mhm.
have to literally write it all over.
Yes.
In iCal, you can have repeating weeks. I mean, yeah, it repeats like every week on such and such. You can do that, but
Mhm,
I like doing stuff like this. I like to check. I like to cross out.
mhm,
It makes me
mhm.
accomplish.
Yes, right.
Right.
Yes.
So, so I think that's one of the biggest things with digital planning. It gives you the best of both worlds of paper and digital because now
Mhm,
it's thinking, you're right, in the cloud, backing up in the cloud. And if you do need to move appointments around, like, I mean, this is a standing appointment, but if I
mhm.
did need to move it around, I can move it to a different place.
Yes, right.
And I love that you talked about the execution blocks and the rest blocks because you can put those in there.
Mhm,
Yeah, the weekly is my favorite too
mhm,
because it shows me where my gaps of time are.
mhm.
Because I think in our mind we think we're working.
Yes.
Then you look at the schedule like, girl, I got a lot of time. Like
Yes.
I need to fill this time up with
Mhm,
appointments and getting stuff done, and then you can
mhm.
see it and actually, kind of. That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and I something else I just came to mind is I like the feel of writing on a paper. I get that same feel. That was surprising to me. I got some kind of sticky thing to go on it that would make it like paper. I got it from Amazon. Yeah, and so I get that same feeling. So that was surprising. And then if you zoom in enough, I can still write so it's legible. Because you write that's so pretty. So like, I have to zoom in. I have to zoom in to get that pretty right. So yeah.
Yep. So like just using that the I don't know where it is on here. Using that, you can either zoom in and
Hmm.
really, be able to write,
Hmm.
like write clear.
Hmm.
I said I was going to challenge myself and use the scribble function that they have now.
No.
So if you use the text box, I'm just going to use this for example, and you click on the text box, you can scribble over here
Oh.
and it'll write. And then you
Oh.
just, so this is like for people who,
I
I
like
don't like
that.
how my handwriting is,
Hmm.
but you got to use it. That's the only thing. Like you got to get used
Mm.
to it.
Yeah.
It's one of
Yeah.
those over time, but I'm getting
Uh-huh.
a little bit better.
Oh.
I'm not
I
all the
like
way there
that.
because I write too fast when I'm taking notes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'll try that.
yeah. So I know we did the insert function on how to insert the templates.
Hmm.
Then also, what else? What else? What else?
The stickers.
Yes, the stickers. So honestly, I know mine is decorated. This is actually the training one, FYI. My real one. I mean, this page actually is almost looks like my real one. I just took
Mm.
certain things off. This is a sticker.
Oh.
That is a sticker, and that is a
Mm.
sticker.
Oh.
Everything else is just me using
Mhm.
functions in the good notes.
Mhm.
So like this right here is just me using the text, I'm sorry, the shape tool,
Mm.
and then I just change the color.
Mhm.
I use the color palette actually of this sticker.
Hmm.
And how I did that is under custom, if you see that little dropper,
Mhm. Oh.
use it. So even if you wanted to take aesthetic notes
Mhm.
and you add that preset, so even if you wanted to take aesthetic notes, you can
Mhm.
change the color of those blocks.
Oh.
And this is just the pen function at
Mhm.
the highest stroke setting.
Hmm.
So I just did that.
Oh, wow.
Just a press and hold,
Hmm. Okay.
and then I just made it a little larger.
Oh,
You just have to kind of play around with it.
yeah.
But once I have it exactly how I want it, then I just go back and save it as a
Mm.
element, and that way
Yeah,
I don't have to do it again.
right.
And that's the game changer right there.
Mhm.
Once I find a functional way to plan and say, okay, I'm going to be out of the office, or I'm going to be on vacation, or a meeting,
Mhm.
I just save it as an element, and then therefore I never have to do it again.
Well, I'm glad you showed me that because I've been using the tape, and the tape is sometimes tricky
Yep,
because sometimes it's, opaque and not. So yeah, I'll try that.
yep, and you can do the tape too,
Mhm.
like a press and hold.
Mhm.
It's only when you touch it, because it
Yeah.
for the blocking out. So
Mhm.
for the stickers, so if you when you get your set, regardless if you get the bundle or if you just get the planner itself, in the drive, if you're using GoodNotes, all you have to do is there's this copy of the honeycomb sticker set. You're just gonna open it in GoodNotes because this is already formatted for GoodNotes.
Okay.
And then it'll download, and we're just gonna open it in GoodNotes.
Mm.
I'm gonna import it as a new document.
Mm.
I'll put it in my 2026 planners.
Mm.
And there it is.
Okay.
And these are actually already pre-cropped and ready.
Mm.
So now when I'm planning is I'll put this, hopefully this won't mess up on me. Let's see. So the only thing with the iOS update is, there we go.
Oh, those are beautiful.
There.
Mm.
So these are, some of them are functional, and they're all grouped already. So there's the flags.
Mm.
I use the flags on the weekly for the most part. Like I'll put them down here.
Mhm.
But you got flags.
What do you use them for? Just for decoration?
I'll use them for, like, here down at the bottom. Let's say that this is my um. Let's see. I'll use them like for titles. So I'll say like emails.
Oh, okay. Where are you going to put things down there? Okay.
Yep.
Oh.
Sometimes I'll use them for in the monthly section. So I'll use it in this little area, like
Mm.
if it's a doctor's appointment or something.
Mhm. Okay.
Move that to the back. And then go from there. But yeah, tons of stickers that you can do so many different things with.
Mm. Well, you gave me some new ideas to try.
Mhm. I got the Pomodoro in here. So if you do like the Pomodoro theory where you work for 25 minutes, take a break,
Mm.
to map it out
Mm.
there. And then this is just kind of a blueprint of all the stickers so people can see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then the hex codes. You can use the hex codes to like change your pen colors
Hmm.
up
Okay.
here or your highlighter.
Oh.
Mhm.
Huh.
Even your tapes. You can even change your tape colors.
Mm.
And that way you'll have the hex codes like
Mm.
readily
Okay.
available. You can do that.
Hmm.
So thank you so much for joining me. And
Yeah.
yeah, we went over a little bit over 15 minutes, but
Yeah, I always get excited and motivated and learn some new things when we talk. So thank
yeah,
you.
I have to have you come back on and go over the new 12-week update that's on here to see how you're using that since
Okay.
you're a fan
Yeah.
of the 12-week year too. So
Hmm. Hmm.
sounds good. Well, thank you for coming on and thank you for being a supporter of the One Dough Planner. I'm so glad that it has helped your life
Yes,
be
it was
productive.
a prayer. So thank you.
Good deal. All
Mhm.
right, y'all. I'll make sure I put a stop screen sharing. I'll make sure
Mm.
I put a link somewhere in the description on how you can get your window planner or just follow us on YouTube for just different planning ideas because it really is about being productive and not busy.
Mm.
Planning is dope with window planner, if I say so. So thank you again.
You're